In this video, I'm going to give you some tips for your post-lab assignment for Lab 8, the chloride unknowns. There's not a whole lot of advice that I can give you for this particular experiment. It's really going to depend on your own individual data, but I just want to point a couple of things out to you. So let's say, for example, for all three of these cations, when you add the NaCl solution, it turns red. Now I just want to tell you right off the bat, this is not what happens. Nothing turns red in this experiment, but let's pretend like this is what your data looks like. And then let's say for your unknown, when you add NaCl, you get red also. So what does this mean when your unknown shows red? First of all, it does not mean that you have all three of these ions present in your unknown. If your unknown is red, it just tells you that at least one of these ions is present. And there's no way at this point for us to know which one it might be. It's also possible that you have two of the cations present, or maybe you have all three. The only thing that you can say for sure is that you have at least one of them there. Let's consider a different possible set of data. Let's say that for the addition of NaCl, with the silver and the mercury, you get red, and with the lead, the solution is colorless. So then let's say for your unknown, you get a red solution as well. So if this was the case, maybe you would be tempted to say, oh, okay, well, I don't know that I know for sure that I don't have lead because lead with NaCl is colorless. Now that you cannot make that determination because a colorless solution mixed with a red solution is going to appear red. So if your unknown is red, you don't know anything about whether or not it might contain the lead 2+ ion, because if it did, that colorless solution would be completely invisible amid the red stuff. So if you have a red solution, all that you can say for sure is that you know that you have either a mercury or a silver cation, or maybe you have both. You may or may not have lead. You have no idea at this point. So you're going to have to not look at just one particular chemical test, but you're going to have to look at all of your chemical tests all together in order to figure out the identity of your unknown and rule out anything that you possibly can. So let's consider another set of data. Let's say that with the NaCl, your silver ion is red, but the other two ions are colorless. And then let's say that your unknown is also colorless. So if you had this data, if this was your situation, you could say, well, okay, now I know for sure that I don't have silver. Because if I had silver, the solution would look red, and a red solution would not be invisible inside a colorless solution. So the fact that my solution is colorless is telling me that I definitely don't have silver. I might have mercury, I might have lead, or I might have both of them, but I definitely don't have this guy. And once you've ruled out the silver, you can ignore it all the rest of the way down this data column. You don't have to pay attention to it anymore. And from here on out, you can just focus on these two. Again, looking for some way to specifically identify the mercury and specifically identify the lead.